Hello, I'm Deaver Brown, and this is about how to handle difficult people, something we all have a problem with. As a matter of fact, misery loves company, and we love to talk about it. I wrote an audiobook which I recorded at simplymagazine.net, which audible.com has it available. It's $2.94. It's a nice download. It's only one disc. I don't think it overdoes it. The first thing for you to understand is we all have this problem. We all have difficult people in our lives, and there are no silver bullets. It's kind of like reading a diet book. We all hope to find out that we can really have a chocolate cake, or we can have a couple of Cokes, or we can have a big steak. But we all know that's not true. So there's no simple way to deal with it. And Justice Brandeis said this brilliantly in a letter to his daughter. He said, "My dear, if you only understood how hard life is, you'd find it so much simpler." And I find that I tell people this all the time. So what we're going to do is give you a couple of strategies to work on. And I got feedback from a few readers and listeners, and they said they like specific tips, things they can hang their hat on. And I think that's really good. So I've tried to do that, make very specific tips on what to do. And the first one is, we're going to have you handle them, not cope with them, because handling is proactive. Coping is a negative. It's like you're getting beat up, and it's like football. You can only be on the field so long and win. So if the offense has an unlimited number of plays, no matter how good the defense is, they're going to lose. So we have to be able to get you off the field, and that's essentially the image you should have. How do you get yourself off the field? So what don't you do? Well, you don't cope, you don't appease, and you don't try to satisfy them. These things really don't work. The best thing to do is you want to stay in control of the situation. And this means you must be proactive, not reactive. And it's kind of like a great diver. You have to picture the dive before you make it. So when you're dealing with a difficult person, think about this. You're handling them. You're not coping with them. You're not trying to satisfy them or appease them. You're trying to get them off the field. And the question is, how do you do that? Well, the first thing is, you want to be sure that you recognize them. And there are only 4 types. And I say this because Bill Belichick has got a great thing. When the first Super Bowl the Pats won, he said, look, Mike Martz got 1,000 plays. And if you guys look for 1,000 plays, they're going to be in the end zone before you figure out which it is. There are only a couple. And you want to look for the couple. The couple here we reduce to 4. The first one is an attacker. This is somebody that's just after you. It could be a sniper taking shots at you. It could be a bulldozer. It could be anything of that type, but they're coming at you. There's no satisfying this person. You just want to get away from them. The second type is the complainer. This person's kind of like water on stone. It wears you down. It's depressing, and you have to admit that. Part of dealing with difficult people and getting over it is saying, this is a difficult person. I just want to move on. The third type is the know-it-all. And I really believe that's not so hard, because often know-it-alls do know something, and if you listen to them a bit, you can move them on. And the final one is the ineffective. And lots of companies talk about this person. They don't do anything, they don't get anything done. But there are 3 sides in mathematics. One is plus, one is 0, and one is minus. And ineffective is a 0. It's really not so bad for a bad person. They're not doing anything, but they're not hurting you. So when you do that, you want to think about those types. And we're going to go through it again. The only type to really worry about is the attacker. This is somebody you want to get away from. The second one's the complainer. They'll wear you down, but you're not going to die from it right away. The third type's the know-it-all. You just have to listen to that person. There are ways to get away from them, but just listen. And the fourth one is the ineffective. They're useless, but they're not dangerous. So for problems, that's not bad. Now for a good thing, it's not good, but it's not bad. And that's what we want you to think about here, is to be mellow. Now, what do we do to deal with these people? Well, first of all, don't seek anything from them. You don't want their approval. You don't want them to agree with you. You don't want them to respect you. You don't care about their opinion. And you certainly aren't going to try to reform them. Now, we all fall into those traps. We try to persuade them. We try to reform them. Don't do it. Just let it go. It's kind of Zen-like, which is you stand back and you kind of let it happen. Now, the best one I like is Muhammad Ali. It said, how is he going to beat Sonny Liston in an early fight? He said, reach of 41 inches. I'm going to stay at 42. So what do you do with an attacker? You stay out of their range, whatever that may mean. Now, often it means somebody's meeting with you. Well, move it to a telephone call. If that doesn't work, move it to email. And then just try to get rid of them. So these are the basic things we want you to look at. Now, when you're talking about strategies, think about it as a playbook. You are following a playbook. So what do? Well, stay out of their reach. Don't defend your positions. In other words, they're going to try to put you in a defensive position and make you defend it. Don't do it. Don't back up and don't move forward. Very important. Now, here's the other thing. Like a fish, let them run in the line. Let them wear themselves out. Use their energy against them. And finally, don't commit on the spot. Don't get forced into the quick answer. In negotiations, they're always trying to say, if you don't buy it this hour, this minute, this second, you're going to lose it. Risk losing it. So those are some ideas. Go to Audible, get How to Handle Difficult People, put it in your car. It's about 45 minutes to an hour. It's sweet. It's nice. We also have a form of it in the physical form where you can actually print it out and listen along. Have fun with it, and don't let them get to you. Mark Twain once said, nothing can withstand the assault of laughter, so be sure to light them up a little bit when they're giving you a hard time. You'll feel better, and they won't know what to do.